You're listening to iLive Radio. Changing the way you listen to radio. iLive Radio.
We say a warm good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good night, whatever time zone you're in. Hold tight to all the UK. This evening is 8 p.m. and you know what time it is. It's time to talk the ting. So we are awaiting a few more of our guests to enter the studio. But if you're on Facebook with me right about now, yes, we have the big man himself, Ty, waving up the ting right now. Big respect, sir. So he's going to be coming and talking the ting in just a little while. Guess coming in a little bit later on, Jamal. You heard him. If you tuned in last week, the end part of last week, he called in on the radio. But tonight he's going to be right here, sitting down with the whole crew. We're doing it old school, talking about the rave scene way back in the 90s. I can say way back because I'm kind of that era, and you know, getting on a bit now, but there you go. So I hope so you're all good. Before we do start, we've got some fundamentals to be going on with, right? Let me give you the details. If you're tuned into all the w's.iliveradio.com, wonderful. iLive UK, that's the point you need to be at, okay? If you're over on the social network, that being Facebook, do me a favor. Hashtag TALK-DI-TING. Alright? Hashtag TALK-DI-TING, okay? And spread this link. Let people know that you're tuned into the hottest thing right now on UK, iLive UK, Talk the Ting. We do it each and every Wednesday, 8 through till 10 o'clock, chopping it up with some of the greatest old school icons of our era, okay? We're documenting this so it stays in our legacy forever. Also, calling in tonight, we have our very own DJ Sessions, Jason Henry. That's how we know him. Should we take it way back to the old school? All right, Swing J. There we go. So welcome to each and every one of you. Good evening. Hello. 6 minutes past the hours of 8. Gonna play some old school tunes. Just to take you back down memory lane. Let's break it on down.
You're listening to iLive Radio, www.iliveradio.com.
To all the low riders, the big riders.
happening in the car, yo. For real, many niggas. Brand new truck, butter sauce seat, 4-point something with a low ride something. Ain't nothing better than to ride out the hood with it. Who looking better and damn you looking good in it. Take a chance with a nigga in the choice ride. Listen to the CDs I play inside. Most Def, J, Prince and Stevie, Marvin Gaye, Led Zeppelin and Biggie. And when the evening is over, love, gonna find a nice spot for the rover, love. Do things to make the man in the moon blush. My mind race, but I tell my waist don't rush. Use the upper echelon piece, so when you find it's a stash and you don't freak, you wanna nibble on a nigga ear and do all the things that make a nigga wanna get near. Oh, I'm a Queens representative. Get wild by any means, my incentive is. When we done, I start it up again and ride around with you, cause you my special friend. Me and you, I think we should ride. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Don't worry, just come get inside. Come on, come on, come on, come on. The second part, my ride is like art. We get creative in it when we take it out and spin it. The back seat is the canvas we painting on. Abstracted work we creating on. The TV's in the back and the dash too. Got Miss napkins and bamboo. Don't worry, the tin's past the legal one. Outcast banging loud in my eardrum. The way the wheels spin, cutting through the still wind. Outsiders looking in with the ill grin. Fuel injected, brand new inspected. Emissions got tested, details perfected. Got the armor all touched, empty out the Dutch. No tobacco spilling on my rug clutch. Kick off your shoes, show off your pedicure. Shake off the blues, we all forgetting more. More of that thing, stuff that brings ecstasy, making you cling. A little harder than your average hug or grab. Lady, tell me this is better than taking the cab. And when you bounce, tell all your girls you rode around Hot Wheeling, drinking no Earl. Vacation and be up my V8. Just one night we drive and we escape. Me and you, I think we should ride. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Don't worry, just come get inside. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Me and you, I think we should ride. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Don't worry, just come get inside. Come on, come on, come on, come on.
Yo, yo. Let's get back into it. 12 minutes past the hours of 8. If you just joined in, thank you for logging in the right way, the only way. iLive Radio UK. Doing the do 24/7, 365. Welcome to the brand new, our second episode of Talk-the-Ting. So we got Ty inside the building. And let's start off like this, all right? Let's give Ty a little bit of mic. Good evening, sir.
I'm good.
All right.
I'm rested.
You're rested. Let's start with this, all right? You are famously known around the UK and the whole wide world. I'm putting out there the whole wide world as Ty. You've got a brand new album called Work of Heart.
Yes, sir.
That's doing amazingly well at this present moment.
Yes, sir.
Okay. But you have been in this music scene for many decades.
30.
30 years. 3 decades. Mm-hmm. This guy hasn't just turned up today. He's been in this industry for a long time, and
we want people to be in this industry for a long time.
Indeed.
I feel like we that narrative is what we should be expecting.
100%. So it started for you when? What year did you actually get into, let's say, the music scene?
Okay, it started for me as a child, when certain kind of music, electro music was out there, and when certain hip hop programs like John Craven's News Round, which some people might not know about John Craven's News Round. It was
let's tell them about that.
Children's news program that first showed breakdancing and body popping.
Right.
I think when I saw that was when everything else.
So I actually remember that clip. They were showing the Rocksteady crew. Yes. John Craven. They went to America and captured these New York breakers and said, oh, it's a new fad that's going on and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of us UK guys that kind of saw that and took a shine and thought, hold on a second, what is that?
I want to do that.
I want to do that.
I definitely mash up my front room.
So, hold on. So was you a breaker or a popper?
I was a popper and a breaker.
Oh, wow.
But here's the thing. I didn't know what I was doing. As far as my mum and dad were concerned, I was a terrible child that was costing them money and breaking bone china. I was one of those people that I saw something and I'd practice it and do it myself.
Indeed.
And it's good that you're talking about this, because this is going to factor heavily into what we talk about later.
100%.
Because for me, my entry was dancing.
Okay.
My entry was dancing. Like I can't say that I started rapping. That was the first thing. The first thing that caught me was the dance floor.
Okay. All right. So, if dancing was the first thing for you, and for many of us, we started either with the dancing, whether it be like your body popping or your break dancing, or some of us went onto the graffiti side of things.
Okay.
Right. So for myself, I was part of a crew called Bass Incorporated out of Tottenham.
Yeah.
Black Radical Mark II.
Black Radical Mark II, I remember.
BC.
Black Radical Mark II was the first UK hip hop concert I ever went to.
There we go.
First show that I went to.
So at High Fashion?
It was, you know where it was? It was Camden. It was Camden, or it was Kentish Town. Yeah.
Yeah, the what's the place in Kentish Town? I've forgotten that place now. So,
but yeah,
the Bass Incorporated crew, I know some of you are locked in tonight. Where was it?
Big up to you guys.
Yeah, man. Big up BC, Seek Live, Winston, Altai, DJ Cell, the whole crew. You know who you are. Come online, come on Facebook, or come on the iLive chat group and have a talk with us. We're talking the ting tonight.
Yeah,
okay, we're going to talk the ting. The importance of this is to get all our early hip hop history documented. Okay, so he started as a dancer. Was he with any part of crew or anything like that?
Nah, I never rode with the crew, but I will say that Emil Collins,
yes,
Socialized Media,
yep,
and also the maker of the documentary Soul Seekers. We were always in the dance together. A whole bunch of us were always in the dance together, and what it was is a lot of us would meet up at the jams,
yep,
and then dance all night, and then everyone would go their own way. Some people met up outside of being at the jams. I pretty much saw everybody at the jam, so I didn't know whether people came from East London or North London or South London. All I knew is I'd see you at the jam, I recognize you by your dance move,
yes,
or recognize you by your fashion,
right,
or recognize you by your haircut. And then we all spoke. Some people I never knew their names.
Right.
But I knew them.
You didn't need to know their name, basically.
No, I didn't.
You just knew that we're all together underneath one roof. And the greatest thing about that, I remember, now we're going to get to the beef on another occasion.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about the peace and love and harmony where we all came together back then. And it was strut your best stuff,
Definitely.
May the best man win.
Strut your best stuff, and also just do it with your heart. Like that was the vibe. People were coming in, dancing. There wasn't a really destructive element in my circle. There was other circles that was a little bit more violent.
Yeah.
But our circle was generally people dance, and you almost waited for certain people to come in the dance.
True.
Like if you knew certain people were going to come in the dance, you knew, okay, like the Abstract and Mark and Seymour.
Yeah.
If they were coming, you knew that's it. The party was about to take off.
Okay. So
Aston Walker. When Aston used to come in the dance and do his dance with his dreads.
Yes.
That dude.
You knew what time it was back then.
What time it was.
Okay. 20 minutes past the hours of 8 right here, iLive UK. We're talking the ting. If you was part of that hip-hop scene where I myself used to go down to Covent Garden, I was a wicked breaker back then. And after breaking, we used to go to McDonald's and get our burgers and what have you, and then chill, come back home, drop off the lino, change off, and then it was excuse me mum and dad, I'm really, really sorry, but it was down to the yard. We got Ty inside the building. Behind us, just walked in, is DJ Magic J. He's going to be chopping it up with us as well, giving us his... Good evening, sir. Good evening to you. He's going to be giving... He's a younger, but he's going to give us his perspective on how he sees us elders who influence him in the game and get his take on it in a little while. But we're talking with Ty right now, still waiting for Jamal, and I believe that is Jason Henry, our other host, trying to call through. So I'm going to get him on the line right about now. Hold tight. We're coming right back.
Don't face it, shoot it, freebase it, pour it in a glass, drink it, chase it, then chill, flex, feel the full effect. The impact is similar to a train wreck. It's whack to me when the beat is more hype than the MC, cause what he's saying is empty, dull, void, without substance or content. You need to slow your speed, stop the nonsense. These are the words of the rising sun, surprising some who thought I was just another humdrum. Average type non-MC who found the mic and thought he was hype. Nah, that's not me. I'll take a page, write a phrase and rephrase it, treat it like a national flag and upraise it, so a nation of people can feel proud about a brother who speaks out real loud. I'm here to rock the show, block the dough, and let the words flow, 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 flow. Enough tough talk, as a hunter I must stalk. So each day I pray on dunks that like to play, laying games to frame the self-same truth that got him off a stoop and help him to recoup. Stone cold backbiters, boac rhyme writers, give you a little party and now you don't know nobody. Diabolical fools pursuing happiness, lacking finesse, I'm left unimpressed. I heard you rhyme a few times, each time you blew it. You're soft, you can't go off, I knew it. Let's be realistic, I'm not egotistic, but your crew just not that artistic. Point blank, your song stank. Yo, I know you want the truth, so let's be frank. I may not start on this hard, not known for being subtle. Patiently I listen to all types of rebuttal. Don't say this, don't say that, change your lyrics. Everybody's a critic, it's getting kinda hectic. My rhyme is authentic, so it shall remain. My writing exciting, never mundane. In actuality, my personality keeps my mentality based on real life situations, not speculations, but verbal illustrations of how I feel. You have the audacity to doubt my veracity, or to insinuate the G will prevaricate. Your disposition is beyond my recognition. I fail to see the reason for your constant disbelief, and why should I lie? What would I gain? Nothing. So when I speak, yo, I don't be bluffing, I be puffing on high-powered sets once. I don't try to front or back away from a challenge. I'm game. You suckers rhyming sound like your lips are lame. You seem to need therapy for your speech impediment. Take this advice because it's for your own benefit. I'm energetic, magnetic, and athletic. One more thing, and it's called poetic. My style's unorthodox, but of course it rocks. And when it comes to styles, I'm overstocked. You might never get to hear my last rhyme, cause I've been writing since you heard me last time. I could go on, the G is strong. I rock the show, I clock the door, and let the words flow, flow, flow.
Yeah. So right about now, giving you some old school sounds of Chill Rob G as we sort out the technicals in the background. We should have DJ Sessions, Swing J, Jason Henry goes by many names. How you doing, sir? Oh, where are you? All right, so we still got a few technicals getting Swing J on the line. It seems we can't patch him through just yet. All right, so all right, let's continue. Swing J, we're gonna connect with you in just a little while. All right, as we sort something out. There's some technical that's not working for us, but we're gonna continue. We have welcome inside DJ Magic J.
How you doing?
How you doing?
I'm alright.
Good to have you here. We've just been speaking with Ty, and he's been giving us his little background into how he got into the hip hop industry as a dancer originally. Okay,
I didn't even know.
Way back in
Uncle Ty was a dancer.
There you go. And this is what it's all about. It's like,
Yes, sir.
getting this document and letting people know that, listen, we haven't just arrived. We're not just MCs or producers or doing what we're doing right now. There's a history behind this. There's a history behind us. And we're going to create that legacy so it's there for the youngers that's coming up.
Yes, sir.
To look and see exactly where they got inspired from. And not to give away your age, but you're one of the youngers who's kind of broken through. You're the age. You're the age now, mature age.
Well, the industry now.
Yeah.
They call me Uncle Magic.
Uncle Magic. There you go.
Because of the age that I am.
Yeah.
And I've been in the game since I was 13, and even going back from, growing up in Tottenham and growing up around sound systems, and my uncle had a sound system, rest his soul, Destiny Sound System, and I'm growing up in that era. and growing up going to Ferry Lane Estate and seeing the old schoolers doing the b-boying, from the Demon Boys, from the London Pussies and stuff. I was always involved in that as a child, but I was that little kid because I grew up in the Rasta culture. I was that little kid saying, Celestia, blessed to the king type of thing, and listening to roots and culture and roots and dub music. I call it foundation music.
All right,
you get what I'm saying? Right. So with me listening to that and then growing up around, the nitty gritties, the Tendersaws, the Aswads, and Maxi Priest, who's basically like family to me.
Right.
Being around those people and seeing them as a child, that gave me the inspiration and the buzz, and especially with my uncle also pushing me to the music and making me get into it. And now his son has got a recording studio. My cousin's name's called M Stair. He got a recording studio called Elite Studios, awesome recordings. We pushed away. He went into production. I went into, I'm gonna be a DJ. That gave me the inspiration. I went into DJing, and I was just a hardcore hip hop guy. What I mean? I was like that hip hop guy. Listening to Cellar Dellas, Black Moon. From that era.
So, what was the first tune that you ever bought, hip hop wise?
First song that I bought hip hop wise, I think it was Tim Dogg's Profanit Wax or something like that. If I remember right, something like that.
Something on Wax, was it?
Yes, Profanit Wax or something.
Yeah, something Wax.
Yeah, like that was my first introduction of buying. But I actually bought High Five record.
Okay.
Remember the R&B group High Five? I bought them from Zen Records in Broad Lane, N15.
Oh, wow.
I kept it in the hood.
Zen is still there,
Yes, he is.
Zen, yes. Okay, so we've worked out a few technicals. We now have Swing J, Jason Henry, our other host, on the line. Good evening, sir.
Can you hear me this time?
I can hear you this time. Finally.
We can all hear you.
We can all hear you now.
Jesus, man.
I know. There you go. That's what happens, man. How you? You good?
I'm just on my way up to Birmingham on the train.
Okay, all right. So I don't know if you've heard what we've been speaking about so far. We've just introduced Ty into the mix, and also DJ Magic J has been given his perspective of how he got into it, and it was going to tell us his influences and basically his first tune. So you've been a dancer, and Ty, knowing
Told you that
back in the day.
That's Ty.
Yes,
that's me.
That's Ty. Nah, man. Ty doesn't know what he's talking about.
What do you mean he doesn't know what he's talking about? So what is he lying on you?
All I'm saying is there's no evidence I can deny it.
Unfortunately, there is evidence.
to bring out the pasties.
Apparently there is evidence.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and
Lots
so
of
I'm
it.
going to say one name for you.
No,
Ready?
there is. I know. There is.
I've got one name for you. Well, I've got two names for you, but I'm going to say the first one, Pops.
He
And
does?
yeah, he's got pictures. And
Where's Pops? What's Pop live?
where's Pops live? Well, you know, if there's no evidence, you don't need to know where he lives, do you? Also, Jamal has loads of pictures in his house, and we both wore Jamal outfits. So let's try and move along from this
Okay, I think you
evidence.
better leave it there, you know.
Yeah, let's leave the evidence. I think Jamal's coming with the evidence. Let's leave it there, really.
So hold on. Jamal's coming with some evidence tonight.
I reckon Jamal might come with some pictures, or you know, Jamal can provide evidence of pictures.
There we go.
But you know, let's move on to a more positive outlook.
No, man, that's
in
sounding
regards to
good
this
because we want to
conversation.
talk about some of the drama and some of the beef. You know what I mean? So let's wind
Well,
up.
as far as I know, me and Jason Henry, we had no beef.
It's always been blessed.
Always
been blessed.
Like, in fact, as we're talking about the scene, I mean, I don't want to jump to that, so I want to jump back to something that Magic J mentioned.
No, we can do that. We can jump back and forward. Yeah.
Let me jump back. So the first record that I had, I won in a I ran in a birthday party, and it was breakdance party.
Breakdance
Break Machine.
party. How many of you guys remember that? Wow. Yes.
I won't sing the rest. But yeah, and the thing is, I actually have a picture of me winning it. I've got a picture on my Instagram somewhere where I'm dancing. I look like I'm about 11.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing like brown corduroys, and I'm in the middle of a move. That was me in the middle of winning that record.
Wow. Well, as soon as we're talking about first hip hop tunes or
first anything, really.
anything.
Yeah.
Well, no, not first anything, because my first music that I got was actually reggae, which
That's
is
just as
all
relevant.
Cool. It still is. No, but I want to talk about the hip hop still.
Okay.
Electro One.
All right, Electro One. I'll tell you why it's relevant to me. Why whatever record that you've got is relevant.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because we're UK based, right?
That's
and
right.
we come from a UK black perspective and a black background.
Yeah.
So the records that whatever your first record is going to help shape who you are.
It most definitely did.
So even though you've got a hip hop record later on, that reggae roots, that rare groove roots, that funk roots, whatever, that lovers rock, all of that is relevant to the story, especially for the kids that are listening now. They need to know.
All right, so if we want to talk about the very first tune that I bought, purchased myself with my own money,
yes,
it has to be Police, Message in a Bottle.
Nice.
That was me.
Wow.
Nice. I was a big, massive fan of the Police back then.
Come on.
Yeah.
Can we? You see, and I'm glad that we talk about that, because one of the things that people don't understand is pop music was so good.
Of course.
Back then.
Oh, yeah.
It was so good. That to the point that Standout Ballet, you could listen back to Standout Ballet now and you're like, wow, this was actually, this was some dudes in some funny dresses. This is actually very good music.
Even the sound is like electric and
definitely
futuristic.
Roxy music.
music. Do you remember, I'm going to take people back down memory lane. Do you remember before we had all this technology that we had today, making your remixes or edits on tape?
I did it.
You remember that? Was you part of the era?
Later on,
you might be.
Later on, clocked onto
it. You can't jump in. You was either there or you weren't there.
You was either there or you weren't there.
Was you there, fam?
No. That
All right, I wasn't there.
was. Listen, because we couldn't go there and we couldn't afford what we saw the US getting and those. Even though it was like cheap old stuff, but it's still a lot of money, man.
People
we were working. We were kids.
You had a tape deck. Right? So you used to either you put two tape decks together, or you edited with your one tape deck. Like you listen to a radio show.
Oh snap! Yeah, I've done that many times.
You edit. So here's the thing, right? There's two versions of this. You would either record the songs off radio and do what you're doing, or when you got into the production level, you was literally trying to loop stuff from tape decks. So you'd mixing different things from one tape deck and another tape deck.
Yeah.
Or you would play one tape and then record your voice with another tape deck.
Totally.
Wow.
Yeah. People used to do stuff.
And I've still got one of my tapes or a couple of those tapes still
really
there somewhere. Yeah.
I got taste, but I'm scared to listen to them.
Right, okay. All right, we're gonna try this again. Make up beat. Run the track. Don't you just love that Skype sound? Someone needs to make a tune with that.
Man.
Someone made money.
Hello, good evening. Why can I not hear you? Our Skype seems to have grown some gremlin legs tonight, so we're going to stay off of the Skype. It's not going to work. So if you know my personal, please give me a call on the personal and we can talk. Studio number tonight is 07507286388. Okay, if you want to come live and you want to talk and give us your memories of the old school days, how the rave scene used to be, what you used to do. Fashion is a very important cornerstone of how we kind of got into all of this. Oh, I'm hearing a little of my voice back. Never heard that before. Right, so fashion. Let's talk about fashion.
Wow. All right, so fashion.
Yeah.
So for me, fashion, hip hop fashion. First of all, you follow the album covers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Then you followed music videos. Like I remember when Tretch came out with that fisherman's jacket thing on the OPP jacket.
Yes.
Trust me. Saturday morning, everyone was going looking for that. Everyone was rocking that. Baggy trousers, pin-ups, trainers, bandanas. We were doing all that. High haircuts. Like I remember Swing J used to have a swift haircuts. Like,
so yeah, spill the tea.
Steps.
I can't remember seeing pictures with you back then. But
nah, man, because I was busy dancing. I remember. I wasn't.
Did you sport that?
I wasn't a sweet boy then.
You weren't a sweet boy.
No.
Here we go.
No, I was just, I was doing what I had to do. I wasn't looking at the girls at that time.
Okay. Fair enough.
I wasn't looking for attention.
Okay. All right. What's your dance name?
I had no dance name.
You didn't have a... How do you didn't have a dance name?
You know what? People just knew me as Ty.
Just... Okay.
People knew me as Ty.
That was it. All right.
But
cool.
As far as dance... or Ben. Or my real name, Ben. Yeah, I had no dancing nickname. I had signature moves, but not a dancer nickname.
All right. Okay.
And there were so many dancers back then.
Yeah. Who's the crew that used to dance for She-Rockers?
There was Cookie Cruise.
Cookie
Cruise. So they had FDM dancers, something like that.
See, I can't remember half of these people. This is why you guys are here to rejuvenate.
What's funny for me is Anthony from FDM and or is it RPM? It might be RPM, right?
Right, yeah.
RPM, like they lived on my estate.
Yeah.
So my man, I used to see him on TV, and then I used to see him walking past my house towards his house.
Okay.
So I was a little bit like, that. In fact, he was one of the main things that made me realize that, you know what, this hip hop thing, you can do it, because look, here he is walking past your house. Here he is in a video. Here he is walking past his house with a dog. Here's in the video. I think I might be able to do this, but no dog for me though. So, it was just...
Do you find that back then, I mean, I already mentioned how united we was, and all right, you never used to really battle as such, but you'd go to a lot of the events to dance and all that.
Yeah.
But do you find that back then there's a lot more passion than there is actually now?
Yeah, there was definitely more passion, and there was definitely more kind of attention to detail. Like right now, a lot of people are very kind of, well, I know everything about hip hop. Oh yeah, I know everything. Oh yeah, well, you can't tell me. Back then, literally, we were like, what? We were like sponges. So when you found out like who produced the track, like so the track you played earlier by Chirob G was produced by 45 King. People was interested. Okay, 45 King, who's that? music, people didn't assume that they knew it all, because the DJ could come out of nowhere and play a new record. Like, I remember the first time I heard The Roots in a club in ever. That was the first time I heard The Roots was played by DJ Swing, rest in peace, DJ Swing, and it was that's got that's got. That's the first time.
There you go.
That was the first time, and then 2 years later, they were living in London.
Okay.
And they would come into the club. So they were, the Roots lived here. The first album, the album that Do You Want More, they lived here. They were, and they were coming around. They would come into Flavor of the Month. They would come to the Hyde Park. They came to the park when Mark and them were alive.
Okay.
Chilled out.
Yeah.
Did a big rap cypher. People was coming and doing certain things.
Okay, so when did you kind of get into? Well, I want to go back into the fashion, but when did you actually start rapping yourself?
I think I started rapping privately. I started rapping from time. Yeah. But I was more concerned with being in a jam and dancing. Yeah. So when I took the mantle of MC was when I started doing the Max and Dave competitions. All right. And then I came second.
Sorry to cut you. That was my favorite show,
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite shows, because those are the days when this was on Holloway High Street. That's right. I remember I went there as I think it was late primary school, early secondary school. Okay. I went there and I was speaking to Max and Dave. Yes. And I was so intrigued with what they was doing when it came to the radio personality, the presenting and stuff like that. Like, I stuck it on them as a kid, and they was looking at me like,
There was so, you know what? To this day, Max and Dave and the hard rock soul movement so important. Yeah. Like even their position within Kiss FM and Kiss FM's importance in regards to black music in the UK. And actually, like, has anybody seen the documentary that Rodney P put together about
Gordon Mack and all them that was on it?
Yes.
If you watch that documentary,
yes, on YouTube. Yeah.
You know the beautiful thing about that documentary is I didn't realize that people fought with their lives to get this music on into the air. That the UK was so against. Rare groove, soul, reggae was so against it. Yeah. People don't know that. We just see it in the pop charts and think everything was the easy ride.
Exactly that.
They don't realize that the police were hunting people down.
Blood, sweat and tears, man.
If you were pirate radios, if people were literally risking their lives to play this music. Yeah. And
and that's why come to say that about the pirate radio scene. That's why when I went into it myself, I started on legendary North London station Heat FM with Chris J. Right, and when us lot came together, me, Musical Touch Sound System, Chris J, we was jumping on the roofs, we was doing all the things, and from hearing from the elders, like yourselves, talking about, that's what Ty was saying, they was risking their life. I was like on that 24 tower block, looking down, thinking that, is DTI gonna come up? Is certain mandem from the block gonna come up?
People risking their lives. Like, if you got arrested, that's a couple years.
Exactly.
And for music.
Yeah. But I was just doing it for the passion and the love for my community, for the culture, and especially because when I was that kid, I was that boy in the corner, always in my room. No one knew if I was in or out. I was in my room reading, if you remember the magazines, Word Up, Source Magazine, Hip Hop Connection, Rap Page. That's right. You get me? I was that kid and listening to Max and Dave's, listening to Tim Westwood back in the days, and 279. I saw him the other day as well, and all the real iconic guys.
Oh my god!
And I was that kid, like I was just soaking in everything like a sponge. And that's what you're saying about music and how this generation needs to not just understand, they need to overstand where this music is coming from. Because even tracking back a bit, I remember when H&B was in Wood Green, I went in there and they was playing some rare groove music, and these kids were saying, why is H&B playing this old school rubbish? I went up to the kid, I said, see this old school rubbish, what you're saying is rubbish. See the P. Diddy's of the world, see the Jermaine Dupri, see the Timberlands, see all these producers, what you're idolizing now, and you're hearing all these beats. They're the ones who are sampling these beats. Biggie Smalls' first album, Juicy and all these songs.
Talk the ting.
They're sampling and you are dancing to it. You get me? And now that I just turned 37 in July, like I can look at myself and say, damn, I've been in this game for a long time. I am an uncle to the game, but I'm still a kid.
Yeah.
You know what, as well, I think it's really important that we recognize that this narrative of us being in the game for a long time, it doesn't come from black people. It comes from a music industry standard that they only allot to ourselves. So nobody says to Cliff Richard he's been in the game for a long time.
This is true.
Nobody says to Elton John you've been in the game for a long time. What they say is you're iconic, Rolling Stones. Thank you for being here. And I think that we have this energy. Sometimes we're fighting. Like, I'm definitely, as an artist now, I'm fighting a music industry that is trying to suggest to me that, you know, it's not about you anymore, it's about these people. But the problem is nobody's doing what I'm doing. Nobody's been doing what I'm doing. So why are you telling me to leave my own house when no one else can make a house like I'm making it?
Yeah.
So the point I'm making is we have to change the narrative in regards to how we view ourselves with the music, right? Because when we were younger, because of the nastiness that people attach to us doing this music, we always considered it as a thing that you wouldn't make a career, that you wouldn't be doing for long. But the truth of it is now we all got kids that are sitting crawling on the floor while we're mixing and playing tunes. But we never knew that would be the case.
That's right.
You never knew you'd have a mortgage.
Nope.
And still be loving this hip-hop music. You never knew that, you know what I mean, you'd be attending parent meetings and still love Tim Dog.
That's
you
right.
didn't know that, but it's the truth.
It's the truth.
Because the fact is, this music is going to last for a long time.
Forever.
This era that we're talking about, which we have to document, was so important, and we didn't have a platform where we could talk about it. But the way that people used to come and dance and enjoy themselves, and the excitement that we used to have, regardless of whether police or the media paint it as violent, it was actually the best days of my life.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree with that, because when you talk about like running from the DTI and risking your lives, going up tower blocks and all that kind of stuff,
plunging in the rigs and all sorts.
Exactly. But you know, I'm not saying, well, it's a kind of dying source now, where there's going to come a time where the kids, all they know to do is to log on online, and it's right there, which is great, because okay, the technology is there, but where did it come from? How do we get there?
Yeah, there's a difference between listening to rare groove mixtapes on YouTube and actually being in a dance in a rare groove tune, and then you know, pulling someone for a dance and being scared to get rejected, but still, you know, there's a slight difference.
I remember as a kid,
get that with YouTube.
I remember as a kid. I remember as a kid going to Pegasus back in the days and getting rejected left, right, and centre.
Can we talk about rejection? Can we take 5 seconds, 5 minutes to talk about rejection? And my goodness,
I was a sucker for rejection.
Ladies, please,
Talk the ting. The floor is yours.
Please, you need to know, right, the power that you had. Right, when we were in dances. Remember, this is, we're hip hop kids, so we kept making the same mistake every night when we raved, every weekend. Hip hop kids, right, were different, because rare groove reggae kids would sit down, be cool, chill, get a drink, peach can I, watch what you're doing, watch what you're doing, then slide in for the dance.
Yep.
Hip hop kids, nah, because if you play Fiber MC, I'm brussing up, I'm breaking up, I'm splits, backflip, do what I'm doing, brother. And then
that's paramount.
Someone plays Jodeci, and you think to yourself, I can't dance fast no more. I gotta talk to
slow it down.
I gotta talk to her. I gotta talk to her.
All right. No, hold on.
Do you want to dance?
You've just sparked something off my head. Now, the dancing element around the whole 90s rave scene, totally changed to what it is today. All right, the music is a lot faster, and they don't dance. No more. No. And when I say dance, I mean as male and female. Nothing sexual, but just dance together.
Let's be honest, it was sexual.
It was sexual, but even going back to when my mum used to tell me about
soca dancing, I'm like, please don't bump your bumper on me. Please don't do that.
My God.
Because I understand that it's in the culture, but I think that's sexual. I'll be thinking about you all day. If you bump your bumper on me, I'll be thinking about you all day.
Okay, I think the point that I'm trying to make is, like, nowadays you get guys and girls that just don't want to entwine with each other, or if they do,
it's more.
Hold on. When I say sexual, it's this kind of hard dagger sort of thing.
Straight,
there's no romance to it, nothing like that.
There is no romance.
Don't get it twisted. Yes, there was some guys out there that one thing was on their mind. Yeah, I just need to show this girl how I can bust two dances.
I know what you're talking about.
You know, we're going home tonight.
But we used to be in the dance.
Yes,
and we used to, as well as communicating and dancing, we used to, at the end of the day, you'd actually try to talk to somebody and dance with them. And it would be a one dance or a couple of dances if you're lucky, and then you separate and go about your business. But it was all part of the interaction.
That's right.
Now it's almost like it's
all standoffish, basically.
You know, and going even further back, as a dancer and a great dancer, I'm sure you was back then.
Well,
all right, man. Pay me later.
I mean, I mean, brag. You know, I just do my thing.
Even with the dance battles, okay, you would have seen quite a few in your time, and there was a bit feisty. But when you came to dance with a girl, there was like an energy going on there as well.
Yeah, there was.
You understand?
And let me tell you something. The whole winding up.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. So you're doing backflips.
Yeah.
You're doing all splits. You're doing all crazy stuff. And then someone puts on a mint condition. And you're like, do you know what? Excuse me. Excuse me. And then you start dancing, and then you have got to, your waist has got to go all the way down, and you got to look like it's not a pressurized thing. You got to look like you're handling it.
That's right.
We could handle it, man.
So guys, let's get the ladies' perspective.
All right. So Sims Mode is obviously here with us. Because he comes Sims.
The club scene in the 90s, right? So if you're a guy who's been dancing heavily to hip hop, hyping up, remember you're sweating, right? Us ladies are kind of like stush or bougie. We're just chilling.
Was that you?
Kind of like.
Yeah.
Okay, talk the team.
Yeah, right. So it's like if I'm going to have a guy more or less drenched, sweating, coming towards me saying, I want, can I have a dance? I'm not going to dance with you because I've got my nice dress on, perfume, everything, hair done, for you to come with your sweaty self towards me. I'm like, no.
Do you know something? Fair dues. But I also think that when the police clamped down on house parties, it changed the projection. It changed the trajectory of Black lives,
right?
And how people were meeting and babies being born. It changed that. Okay. Because most of us, correct me if I'm wrong, house party all night long, babe. Saturday, Friday, Saturday.
Definitely.
What?
Yes.
You got your shirt ready, you got your trousers. You mean you got your plastic cup if you was trying to tiptoe in the party? You know what I mean?
For real. And see, coming to what she said, it's like when I walked in, first thing I walked in and said, it's hot in here. But I mentioned to her that my stepfather said, anytime it's hot, bring your face flannel, even if it's in the dance. Even if it's in the dance, bring your face, because you don't want to go to a girl and your face is coated with sweat. Because the girl would just look at you and go, like, it's okay.
But you see what you just mentioned? That is the next level of legacy of an elder passing down information. This is our culture.
Yeah.
This is our culture. I can't walk up to certain people and be like, my uncle told me to wear a Flace channel or they're not going to understand that.
No. Yeah.
EastEnders? No. I'm talking about this here, right here, is a culture. There was a culture to etiquette in regards to how you spoke to the bouncer.
Definitely.
Yes. If you didn't want to get your face tumped in.
Right.
And it's a funny thing, I'm a security guard right now.
Okay. Well, here you go. Please don't tump me.
All right, so we're going to hold it right there. We are going to take a quick break, let these guys get a drink, take a breather. If you want to be part of this, do give us a call. Our studio number's not working tonight, but here's the number for you: 07507 286 388. Again, that's 07507 286 388. This is Talk the Ting. Myself, DJ Jarzino. In with me this evening, Ty and DJ Magic J alongside our very own Sims. We'll be right back.
Yo, what's up, y'all? We in the Ultra Lab, man. We got this beat rolling, man. We might as well start this course line. Y'all with that? Yeah, let's do this shit, man. Yo, so how we gonna do this, yo? Matter of fact, you know how we gonna do it? Yo, Tim Dog, you lead it off, alright? Alright. So we gonna get out of here, man. It's on you. Take it, my brother.
Call me the hick, the vic, the lick, the dick, the spick, cause I'm too quick. I'll be a praise and raised with a brain. I'm the headmaster and you're my slave. Metaphor master, rhymes all disaster. Half the class, the faster, call me the master. You wanna check, project with a simile, but I'm so large I'll bone your girl Emily. Procrastinator, later, hater, plater, traitor. You wanna be taught? Raider. Out control, get bold, uphold, refold, in tow. Cause I got so many dollars, scholars, hollers. Girls wanna stop and talk, but I walk away. Cause dog don't lay. Rappers wanna play, go ride a sleigh. I'm prepared and dare with the stare. You say where? I'm over here. Metaphor physical, rhymes are artistical, lyrical, miracle, difficult, to some terrifical. Hypothetically, alphabetically, energetically, theoretically, no joke hardcore. Rhymes will stick more, dog will get more. Yes, 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 y'all. I manifest, protest, and progress. Confess with reflex, cause I get co-sex. I can't believe how dope I am. Give me a pound, thank you, ma'am. So whether you think that I'm just a myth, the rip, the lift, the gifts, the ifs, the fifth, the shift, the flip, the thing, control, the whole, the bowl, the bowler, make it, take it, ache and think. Woo! Hot damn, I'm great. I'm on the chorus line. It's a chorus line. It's a chorus line. It's a chorus line. Yo, trap, yeah, bust your rhyme.
Hold the beat, stop the beat, drop the beat. Give me a second to think of the dopest language, lyrical interest, the metaphor, better for if and or before the score. One more, then implore the rhyme, line, fine, combine these signs, redefine, intertwine, down the line, see the sign, stop sign, pause, and let me enter your brain. Reshape the full circumference, then maintain the build, in which I equal to destroy. I'm like a twisted tornado, you're just a toy boy made, manufactured by Parker Brothers. You bought your rhymes from another wholesale. Words are stale, up the bail, cause you fail. Try to trail my certain style, words and rhythm for connecting, dissecting, interjecting. I'm collecting feeds the way it actually should be known to me, cause that's the way it has to be done for me, mine, and everyone else around. You're unequal to the sound of my ratio. My strength is mental, universal power. For the hour, I will rain like a shower. Nucleon, cause you beyond fatal, more than able, also capable of taking you out without a doubt. And with clock, just a sissy, I suck a Girl Scout. I rewind myself and then begin again. Strike, ignite, and burn, just like hydrogen. Come again, as I intend to start to end, to go beyond means of a titan. I'm fighting, releasing my fury to cause static and shine. The superstar reigns supreme. The other lover has got to be dope and deaf, the best that never fest. Unless you guess the test, a threat and jest. Never mess up from a chorus line. Yo, said, here's your rhyme. Metaphor layer, kicking it righteous. That she's the hypest man that might just rip and chew this, rap right through this. Beat that's sweet to eat, I'm not new to this. Rapping with swing and being the sting man, seeing the one who can rap with me, understand. The fact that sound deaf means that I'm building. I'm so dope, I got rhymes by a million. The image maker, breaker, taker, faker, shaker. You rhyme like me, you should've stayed the hell out the industry, cause that means jocking me. You're sweating me, getting me, telling me you're not ahead of me. But that's not all, I just feel that I'm better than, cause I'm ultra, and I'm a veteran with rhymes by the thou, stacks and pounds. I'm a scientist, you say how the hell can we ever trust such when he starts to bust? A rhyme with Gale Force, conducting with mega thrust. The filler, iller, killer, dealer, feels the will to make the people straight and still. To prance and dance and find romance and take the chance to glance while I still deal. Rhymes that's powerful, witty and logical, mystical, just to show what I know when I go out and move on to battle. Tip, you rhymes like it's shit, use a quick woo. The type of hype.
Memories, classics from way back when, giving you some memories. And I heard DJ Magic J mentioned Tim Dog. I had to bring a Tim Dog alongside Ultra Magnetic MCs. Chorus line. Yeah, man.
And those guys were so lyrical as well.
Listen.
At that time, people wasn't being lyrical. You know, when I was listening to hip hop, there was not that much lyrical artists, but everyone had their own identity. It's like hip hop now, to me, it's like no one's got their own identity. Okay. And I keep telling certain people that there's only a selected few artists.
I gotta say,
come on, Uncle Ty.
Yeah, but Uncle Ty might upset you. I think you might be showing your age a little bit in regards to saying lyrical, because Ultramagnetic came after Rakim. And Rakim Rakim really changed the game.
Facts.
And then, to be fair, Melly Mel and Kool Moe D, were very lyrical.
Facts.
But the music was different. But what the package that I think what you're referencing is, they brought an East Coast New York toughness, boom bapness, to their stuff.
Rough, rugged and raw business.
Rugged and flipping out.
Yeah.
And it was just, and to me, one of the things which I'm glad you mentioned that is what we loved as well is we were into the music, but we were into the feeling. So we were into how it visually looked. So the videos gave us an idea of how to feel about the music.
Yes, sir.
Do you know what I mean? So like that's what I think. I'm just transferring.
Yeah.
Actually, the brilliance of Ultramagnetic MCs is that they were just hardcore, unapologetic, funky New York.
There you go. I want to get back to some of the fashions that was going on, because we was talking about that. Click suits of the day.
Oh my god!
It's funny,
love them.
It's funny, you know, because I'm glad you mentioned this point, but let's be really clear on this point. The fashion was between the New Jack Swingers and the hip hoppers,
right,
and the soul heads.
Okay.
And don't forget the dancehall guys, because the dancehall
click
from
suit
the 80s
was the
and
dancehall guys,
90s.
but the dancehall guys were in there.
Yeah.
So they were in there, whether they were waiting for reggae or waiting for the reggae hip hop.
Yeah.
They were in the dance too.
Yes, sir.
And so I feel like this is where Boogie Bunch and Rampage need to get shouted out, because they were the leaders of, if we were going to enjoy ourselves, they were the people that ran the dances that everybody flocked to and could wear and dress a certain way.
Right.
And for me, the dressing was multiple styles.
Jason Henry mentioned last week Vikings ballets.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. And there was a guy
he
that
was renowned for that.
Yeah. Vikings ballets. There was a guy that used to go to the dance floor and would test it out. In his Vikings, they were ideal for it, because he'll be able to slide across the floor, do his splits and come back like, it's ready.
See, but Jay never let you know that's the advantage he had on you.
Yeah.
So until this very moment right now, I just remember him being extra swift on the dance floors. I just thought it was his physical prowess. I didn't know that he was rocking an advantage with the shoes. But now we know. Thanks, Jay.
No, actually someone else done it. So let me just retract that back.
Thanks, Jay.
All good. So it was really, really prominent, the stuff that we took our time to dress and go out.
Serious.
And I would need to get this out to a lot of the youngsters that's out there that go out to raves the same way they are on the road. It's imperative that nowadays generation coming up, some of you do it, so I'm not tying you all with the same brush, but the majority that I see going out are dressing the same way on the road in the dance.
But you know what though?
It's wrong.
It all stems from what we saw growing up. We saw our parents
dressed to the
because
nines.
Our parents dressed, right? They had their normal work clothing.
Right.
Because it's like, if you ever looked in your mum's wardrobe, you would see one side with all her, best dress outfits, and then the other side will be like her work, everyday stuff.
I looked in my mum's wardrobe and saw things I wasn't supposed to see.
Oh.
Save it for another show.
Reverse.
For real. Yeah.
Trauma.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so that's where we got it from. We saw that when they were getting ready to go out. We saw that.
So the preparation. Where did it break down? Where did the breakdown happen?
The breakdown happened for me when the English music industry started to get involved in controlling youth culture.
Okay.
So when Channel U and all of that sort of thing popped in, that's when you started to see the breakdown, and you started to see the disparity, because remember what happened is hip-hop happened, and then hip-hop kind of died in the 90s.
Gotcha.
And a lot of people moved over to jungle, garage, drum and bass, and then that rose, and then that had a different dress code, that had a different attitude, and then only a few people came back to hip-hop from there. Some people never returned.
And they went to grime.
They went to grime. And then that generation grew up and did their thing, respect to them, in a different way. But that's where the disconnect, I feel, that's where the disconnect happened. Because that there was a period where hip hop heads and R&B heads and New Jack Swing heads would still see each other. So our rules in regards to clothing and stuff, we had some sort of relevance because I went to the hip hop thing, but I was still known for dancing in the other scene.
I gotcha.
I was still seeing everybody, whereas in some hip hop heads weren't seeing or even caring about New Jack Swing movement. So they wouldn't come to Leicester Square and what was that club night that Boogie Bunch used to be a part of? They wouldn't come to those things, because they didn't want to hear no Father MC. They just wanted to hear,
That's very interesting because even though I'm hip hop originally to the core, I didn't get to go to enough hip hop events. Maybe the age I was a bit too young. Parents was a bit worried me going out and so on and so forth. But always used to hear it and then see pictures when people used to take it with their Polaroid cameras who could afford to have them. So for me, hearing what you're talking about, all the different dress codes, I only know a few, but there was, the Soul to Soul era. That's another look. That's another thing right there. Or what was going on there? So to me, like the Soul to Soul era, then the Covent Garden area, and there's certain clubs. There are certain clubs that will come to my mind in a minute that were around that my elder brothers and sisters went to. Big up to Cookie Crew and Pogo and Business and them. They went to certain types of dances, and then there was other things that other people were going to. So you have to big up the Fridge in Brixton. And what was going on down there? Place, and what before it changed to what it is now, what was going on down there? Like on a Friday night, you had no business being elsewhere. You mean you had to check yourself, get your deodorant ready. All right, you get your shirts, line up in the queue.
So roughly, what year was that?
That had to be. I remember only because I was working at Pizza Hut across the road. So it's got to be 1991.
Okay.
And 1991 to 93. Because I remember a flyer with 93 with Boogie Bunch and the Fridge. So around about that time, and Rampage and Boogie Bunch did an amazing job of holding all of us.
Tell me a little bit more about how the Boogie Bunch and Rampage kind of dominated scenes back then.
So the way I would describe it is when we were growing up and we were going to hip hop events, a lot of times the hip hop events were put on by people that were not necessarily looking like you or not necessarily really being part of the scene. They just wanted to get the money, so they run events, and then eventually you started to see particular people that look like you holding events. So with Boogie Bunch, we'd big up to Ralph Daly and Freddie Daly for them doing what they do in the Fridge. Eventually we started to gravitate towards our folks running events and doing their thing, and that was the switch over. So when Boogie Bunch started to come about, they were like the heads that were a little bit older than us, but were absolutely the heads that we love to see behind the DJ booth. Like to this day, I still have visions of Mad P, of Brian, of DJ Swing, of Robbie, of all of them just hyping up a dance at Fridge, and then Mike Anthony. And when it was just Mike Anthony and what's the other one? Mike Anthony and it's in my head. Rampage. Go on. 2 before Psycho joined.
Okay.
Before Psycho was great, but Psycho came later.
All right.
Yeah, so it was just the two. It was just 2 sweet boys I used to call them. The Rampage. So it's Mike Anthony and Richie P.
Richie P. Oh, Richie P.
Yeah. Like when they were starting to do things, like when they did the carnival and stuff, you knew. Whereas before you only went to Westwood.
That's right. Yeah.
Then when they started to rise to prominence, you were like, you know what, sod that, I'm going over to my peoples.
And it's so funny that you said that about the Westwoods and the Rampage and whatnot, because I was telling people recently, like people saying, oh, Magic J, are you going to Notting Hill Carnival? And I'm like, nah man, I'm going Leeds, because that's where my family's from. I'm going Leeds Carnival to see my grandmother. And they said, why don't you ever go to Notting Hill? I said, the last time I went to Notting Hill Carnival, for me, it's the days when Tim Westwood and Chris Goldfinger used to have the stage, and he used to bring all the hip hop and R&B acts and dancehall acts from America and the Caribbean. Now it's gone a bit dead. They got Rampage. I like Rampage. I like what they're doing, but the Rampage times is a bit changed for me, because there's different heads going there and different energies and vibrations.
It's definitely more of a throwback era now.
Yeah.
Whereas in Rampage at a certain time was just on the pulse, and they are on the pulse still. But a lot of people go there because they want to hear certain styles of music.
Yes, sir.
Whereas before, you went there because that was the hottest place to be. So,
because this year I saw that UK Apache was there for his 25th.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is serious. But you see, look, like you just played this tune now. This tune you could hear in a hip hop dance. 100%. Rampage would play that. Boogie Bunch would play that. Whereas in a hip hop dance, you wouldn't hear that.
There you go.
So there was a spread of people that just really loved music versus people that were only into a particular thing. And that was the beauty of our scene. And that's what I think we need to try to make the younger ones understand is, the dance floor, the DJs taught us about James Brown. They taught us about Gwen McRae. They taught us about those things. And so I have an appreciation of jazz, of Tom Scott, over to Pete Rock and CL Smooth, over to here, because the hip hop environment was so wide. And where I worry for the young ones now is the environment is not wide. Like if the new generation, they're not getting a cross spread.
I hear what you're saying.
Of what is of
because
good music.
Because even with the dance scene to me is a bit divided now, because you got a big side with Afrobeat dancing.
That's right.
Then you like separated with the dancehall. Then you separated with the hip hop and the R&B type of thing. But some people are trying to keep it original and say, okay, I'm going to do everything because I want to learn everything. But there is a division now when it comes to dance. But the dance scene is huge, especially if you go on Instagram right now. I've got over 200 dancers following me. You know what I mean? And majority of them are Afrobeats, majority of them are hip hop and R&B. You know what I mean? And then you got some, B-boys and B-girls as well. But the dance scene is big, but it's still level. I feel like, and I'd rather want it to explode more.
I feel like the dance scene now and the dance scene back then is slightly different. I feel there was more innovativeness in regards to dancing as a whole, because you didn't have television, you didn't have YouTube, you didn't have none of those things. You had to learn a dance move or freak it yourself. Whereas in now, with
YouTube,
Afrobeat stuff, all you got to do is learn to do the same move that you saw and do it well, and then people get excited. Whereas in my where I come from, if someone did the same move that everyone else could do, you get no claps.
That is facts. Because that's like copying, isn't it?
You get no claps.
Like create your own style.
You get no. In fact, you get.
But that's the key word. It was about being creative. It wasn't about just doing this one dance and then everybody's doing it now. Like,
no, exactly.
So, and that's why I would say the dance scene now. I'm not saying it total generalization, but I would say the dance scene now is a little bit more calibrated. Like, you're controlled, because even like your dance solo is controlled. Whereas I'm telling you, some of the stuff that people was doing, I know why I messed up. I didn't explain something to you, right? The generation that I grew up with that was doing music had come from something else. So there's the jazz scene, right? That a lot of the jazz dancers that could do incredible stuff then moved over into the hip hop. What you're seeing with the new generation, they're not coming from understanding the jazz.
It's like it's all recycled and for fashion.
It's 90s onwards. But the actual acid jazz, the jazz scene, and the way that people, if you go and watch how those people dance, that was the precursor to what eventually the hip hop heads were doing. That's what made our stuff special, because we had people that could really dance and that were trying to fit it into a hip hop aesthetic, but then go doing something else. The generation now are not really being allowed to go to backtrack. They need to backtrack further in regards to dance moves. They need to, if you're a dancer and you don't know who the Nicholas Brothers are, you're not dancing. You know what I mean?
So touching on that, right? What do you think about the event Jump Off? Because to me, Jump Off, you know, well, it used to be in Tottenham Court Road before they knocked down that building, and then they moved it to Scala in
Run
King's
by
Cross.
the two brothers. I remember.
Yeah,
I remember that very well. I feel. See, the thing is, the Jump Off was a great event, but you've got to understand that I came from the scene that saw all of that happening, and the Jump Off recreated it for a new generation that didn't know what happened before. So they created a mixed bag of things all in the same event. But to the new heads, that was amazing. To the heads that existed before, it was just like, okay, this is a mixed bag. This is cool, but this isn't revolutionary to us. It's revolutionary to those that didn't know. So that was, for me, that was, Jump Off was a great thing, but I always went to Jump Off with my hands behind my back. I enjoyed it, but no one knew who we were.
Yeah.
And I didn't mind them not knowing who we were, but then they wouldn't have known what we'd seen before.
There you go.
So Jump Off was a great start for some people.
That's why I tell a lot of people who went there, just be educated, because I've seen it as a child, and there's elders who's in the game who's already seen it, but he's just re-educating those who's born in the late part of the 90s to the millennials.
Yeah, you know what, Magic? It really is about referencing the millennials versus, certain generations, because what we've got to remember is technology changed everything.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of the generation that came before, in fact, the biggest problem that we had in our generation is we were too busy dancing to be filming. Video cameras hadn't really come out to that specificity. That's right. We didn't have it.
So nowadays, everybody danced to a camera where we didn't give two toots.
Only a couple people had cameras.
And it was like the Polaroid, it's just a click. And
people had cameras, but remember, you had a big thing on the show. I'm not swearing on the show, but you had a big camera, like big TV camera on your shoulders. You mean with your plastic cup, with your peach cannon?
Indeed, you know that. It's 9:21 right here, I Live UK. If you just tuned in, this is Talk the Ting. So we are going to jump into another track right about now. Hope so you're enjoying. If you want to converse with us, 07507 286 388. That's the number you need to be calling. Myself, host, alongside Sims, right here at I Love UK, and our guest today is none other than Ty and DJ Magic J. This is Talk the Ting.
Kick on your foot, yeah, jump and spread out to the raggedy off the top next, don't care about. But I better step back, up in the bottom, and I respect that. With me, to trap me, I have to tell him, forget that nonsense. Wanna feel loud and mad, try to be an arctic, a roughneck, dunker, I'm bad boy. Still you try, but when you're back at the real McCoy, you start marching tongue, cause you're not the one. But you're a run up your mouth from down south to up north. When you ain't letting up, not about horse manure. But when you're on tour in Manchester, Liverpool, or Chester, Bristol, or Leicester, you keep fronting like something in a dusty belt, boring me. So you have to be dealt with accordingly.
imitate our mates, so now we take it up. Instrument a record, write a lyric and re-rip it. Break the beat down to the bone and re-kit it. Actual, fantastical, coming with the styles that are practical and bombastical. Mystic, realistic, we remixed it and fixed it so you drink the fun. And coming like the skunk from Amsterdam, you know the flows to a man. Massive boys gang, the slang and the lingua. We ran to sing the phrase got re-back, re-touch the re-snap. Fully equipped, ready to flip. Now the puppy coming with the 90s lick.
I'm a Malibu and skunk you. It's me that all the idiots gallon doing jumpsuit. I kill it with the birds like I was a cat burglar. You should have heard a scream blue murder. When I pop it like a 22 link chain, limp brain. I don't want contest, you best pick a game. You get flawed, you little lord from the war. You go like a dog and you first still want a boy. So you can't protect you. You get shoot Jesse with a rough neck. Like King Sonny. I'll take your money, your honey, and your new car. And you say rough, cause there's nothing you can do, star. I'm a damn thief who loves to cut down cheese. I put more grease than he back kicks and then shoot out. I leave MC brown bread, cause on the town spread out for the clouds of sound next up. On record with your now money they pop. For friends like you get power like your next rock. When you rock out with me, you're on the beat. Cause obviously a bit of pick, a bit of pick, a bit of pick.
Don't sweat the technique. Don't sweat the technique. Let's trace the hits and check the file. Let's see who bit the dissect the style.
Okay,
so they can't get filed. At least not now.
We are
wow. I changed the pace to complete the
live right now.
The bass to MC get wait for everyone they trace it.
I think we got a few things sorted, so we are gonna bring in DJ Sessions, who is finally with us.
I hope so. Jesus.
Oh gosh, finally.
Like I've been listening to you guys forever.
Let's stay positive. Let's stay positive.
I really want to.
I'm up north. This is what happens, right? Good Lord. Great conversation.
Thank you. So we're here chopping it up and talking about the old school 90s scene that hasn't been documented. And listen, Ty has given us so much background and rejuvenated all those memories from back in the day. And of course, DJ Magic J has given us his input as well. So if you've been listening, I know there's many parts that you wanted to give your input. What do you want to say?
Well, I don't know where to jump into the conversation. I mean, Ty's covered up most of it already, right?
No, there's some bits, brother.
What have I missed? What have you missed? What have I missed?
Okay, so let me ask you this question, Jay. When we used to come to dances, how much did you prepare, and what was your experience in regards to being a dancer, coming into an environment where if you didn't start the dance, correct me if I'm wrong.
I should have said.
So you can't have that last part. Say that again.
So what I was going to say is, do you remember being the party starter?
And by the way, we can hear a lot of what's going on in the background.
There's some sexy.
You're not bad. Let me call you back in 10 minutes. Like off this train.
Yeah, there's some sexy bullshit going on in the background.
I like that.
Okay,
give me 10.
All right,
give me 10. All right.
I'm going in tunnels right now.
All right, we'll call you back.
There's more channels going on than you think, though.
What is with this guy? I tell ya. Okay, I Live UK. Talk the ting.
So, what are we talking about? What I was trying to ask Jay, and what I'm asking anybody, even people that are listening, is: do you remember the aesthetic of a dance? People would come in the dance, people would stand by the sides, and it would take certain people that would just start dancing in the middle, hip hop, dancing, or and then everyone would, everyone else would be like, do you know what?
I'm gonna join in.
I'm in here.
Do you know, it's so funny you said that. I used to do that when I used to go pickets as a youth. No one would be dancing. I used to go with my bedroom.
Myself and Mr. Swing J and certain other dancers, that was our job.
Yep. 100%.
Party starters.
So anyone that knows me from back in the day, they'll testify to this, where I was kind of and I weren't the greatest dancer, you know what I mean? I'm talking the thing. I weren't the greatest dancer, but I didn't care. I couldn't see people just standing up there doing nothing.
Listen.
So I was
you was one of them guys then?
I was one of them guys that just went and just kind of... James Brown was a big thing, so I'd do a little shuffle with my foot, you know what I mean, in and out, and skip. I was jumping, and then I'll just like break down into a windmill and then come back up and maybe do a splits and and then just draw myself out. That time now, everyone's hyped up.
Everybody's in.
See, that was me, and the thing is, I think that was me, and that would be the beginning of me understanding what I needed to do as an MC.
Yeah.
Right? But here's the thing. This is what I want to reference that's not been referenced is when I used to come into a dance, right, and people were standing on the side, the difference between me and everyone in that club is they didn't go through what I went through.
Which was?
So I'm growing up with African parents who think I'm in the bedroom. I had to jump out.
We went through that as well.
No, but I'm saying, African parents wise, that what is that? What that? Let me show you the difference.
There's
a slight difference. Let me show you the difference.
Okay.
So you got to jump out your back window onto the dustbins.
Yeah.
Land, crash, roll.
Right.
Then roll to the bus stop.
Yeah.
Then roll to the gig.
Yeah.
Right. Then roll, enjoy yourself, dance, and then worry about how you're going to get back inside the house when you come back. So when I'm standing in the dance and everyone's standing on the side, I was like, sod this. I'm dancing because I'm going to get beaten.
Yes.
I'm going to get the look of death from mama.
Yep.
So therefore, I'm going to get a bucket of cold water on Saturday morning just as I wake up on the bed.
Yep.
So what I was thinking is when everyone's standing to the side, I was like, sod this for a couple of pennies. I'm in here.
Of course.
Dance. And that was my motivation. I was like, oh, I'm dancing. You lot don't know what I've been through. Huh?
And it's so funny that you said that. Yeah, literally yesterday when I was in Leeds before I came back, my grandmother was telling me stories about my mum and basically all my aunts, what they used to get up to, like, you know, sneaking out the window, climbing down the pole to go to Shabines, and when they're coming in, my grand's waiting for them with a big cane or something. And the thing is, that's what her words was, "Me want to kill you," and then one's running in one room, one in the bathroom.
Right.
So because of hip hop, I knew every squeak on the first flight of steps.
Man, come on.
I knew exactly where to step.
We was trained like Jaguars,
because I wasn't trying to wake them up.
Ninja style.
Ninja style, yeah.
Around the corner.
Yeah.
Missed 3 steps.
Yeah.
Middle step.
Yeah.
Jump to the next floor. What?
Bust the door and they're sitting on your bed.
Mate.
Come like the movie House Party, innit?
Yeah.
Listen. If you got memories out there, give us a call 07507 286 388 or just come inside the chat room and talk to us. We are going live. Talk the ting, man. This is how we document our history for all those UK people that used to go to those raves parties back in the 90s. So we've spoken about the dancing scene, you know, the dancing, that kind of element. We've touched on a bit of the fashion and even some of the clubs a little bit. We've gone in there. Where I want to go now, I want to go to the part of it's still fashion, but it's the accessories. So the girls with the big hoop earrings, some of the hairstyles, the guys, the chaparitas, the toms,
even like the black medallions, the chops, the gold chain.
So I mean, that started way before our scene because our parents obviously bought their jewelry
that's
from.
What I'm saying. It's like you're watching what your parents had when you was
But you weren't
up.
thinking about your parents when you was trying to look like Rakim.
Oh no.
Or Salt and Pepper.
No.
Your mum didn't dress like Salt and Pepper.
No.
Neither did mine. But
all the gold, where did that come from? All the gold. I mean, there was a humongous. All right, maybe gold was cheap back then.
But think about it this way, yeah. Like I'm a huge dancehall fan from the 80s. My favorite artist was Papa San,
right?
Before he turned preacher man.
Yeah,
but it did evolve from there.
Yeah,
because I remember those women had the clothing, had the jewelry, had the hairstyles.
Yeah.
And then later on, I used to see the hip hop ladies doing it, and then some of the mandem doing it as well.
Right.
So if you look back into the dancehall scene,
I agree with you, and I agree with Sim. It's definitely a legacy of us watching our parents dress up and go out. But then we found
our own
version.
Yeah. DJ Sessions is back with us. We are talking about fashion accessories, my good man. Yeah, we can hear you.
Fantastic.
Cool. So we're talking about fashion accessories, the things that we used to wear to complement the clothing that we had, whether it be the hairstyles. You had a Gumby, right? One of those lean off.
I had the Gumby when I first started, and then I lost it up.
You lost it up? Okay.
Yeah, I lost it up.
But I remember
so I think when
lines,
Ty met me, I had it locked.
You had lines in your in your dreaded version of the Gumby, right?
Correct.
Just okay.
2 tram lines.
That's right. There we go.
2 tram lines.
It augmented the dancing style.
Okay, so can you talk about your dress code as a dancer, because you and Sarit had quite a unique fashion sense as far as dancers. Over to you.
yeah, we did. I think I was more aligned with, like, I was really into like 90s, 40s jazz dancing. That's a lot of my style came from. So I kind of tried to dress like that. So I was a cross between a hip hopper and a jazz dancer.
Definitely.
I had the baggy trousers, I had the pin tucks, I had the kind of slightly high waisted, sometimes it's funny jacket. I had the polka dot shirt.
Yeah.
All those things kind of added to the whole thing, right? When you dance, you had to look smooth when you were doing it, so you use clothes that look smooth and move when you actually dance.
Jay, I've never seen you look brought down anywhere. If you
went to double bass,
seriously,
when I first started going to double bass, I was a straight hip hop guy.
Yeah, but you
like, I had
hip-hop,
the big naff jacket.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, so I was more of a hip hop guy then. When I moved from double bass and started going to the fridge more and dance wicked, I started to kind of change my style slightly, but my style of dancing changed as well.
Dance wicked.
Jason, can you tell us about the fridge and how special that was?
Oh, the fridge was a mecca, man.
Yeah.
Like, you had all these events around it, and I mean, my whole dance history, and Ty probably doesn't know this, but I used to come to the fridge when Soul to Soul was in. I used to live in Reading at the time. I used to come down with the J-Boys, who were the dancers for the She-Rockers. They used to come down with those guys. And then when I moved back to London, I moved to South London, I started going to I was moved to East London, started going to the double bass, and that's where I kind of picked up and met all you guys. So I come to the fridge, but the moment you stepped into the fridge and stepped onto that floor,
oh god,
it was like
it was on.
Nothing else.
Jay, do you remember that I used to work at Pizza Hut across the road?
Yes, sir.
So certain people used to come for their free pizza.
Yo,
man used to come for their free pizzas. Yes, of course.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Pizza Hut. This is too long and too late to catch me out now, Pizza Hut. So I was giving away pizzas. Yeah.
That's 20 plus years
in
ago.
your face, Pizza Hut. In your face.
Oh gosh.
I missed a lot of the conversation, but do we ever talk about any of the actual dancers themselves, or are we just talking about?
Yeah, you can. You can do.
Yeah. So, like for me, I mean, I didn't consider myself one of the top dancers. I used to look at people like Paul Huggins and Steps and the guys from RPM and the Abstractors. I used to look at them and be like,
Mark and Seymour. Mark and Seymour.
I kind of like stuck. Yeah, Mark and Seymour. I used to stand in my corner and do my thing in my corner, But when it was time to battle, But for the most part, I just love dancing. Do you remember G Weston, Gavin?
Yes.
Incredible. Yes. Now that's the guy that used to do the back splits across the floor at the fridge and test the fridge out for us. He'll tell us if it's been shined properly, and if we will be able to. Our Vikings won't stick. He used to go into the fridge and literally do a backwards split. If he slides more than 10 feet, he's in a good mood.
That's mad.
Wow. Jay, I actually consider you one of the top dancers. Actually, sorry to let you know that.
Ah, Lord have mercy.
So take us back. Where, I mean, apart from the Americas where you might have kind of got a bit of inspiration. I don't know. Where did you get your inspiration from? Some of the moves that you used to make.
I used to be a soul dancer. So I was a DJ before. Like, I was been a DJ since 13. So I was in the East London scene. So the whole jazz funk, the wag. You know, I DJ'd at the wag when I was 17.
Wag club.
The Wag Club,
there you go.
Wow.
Yeah, wag club. So I DJ'd at the wag club when I was 17. So, you know, I got all my inspiration from there, like Jazz Aquarium. I used to watch Paul Trouble Anderson dance. I used to watch
Anderson.
Rest in peace. JK.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, when he used to dance, like, I used to watch all those guys dance, and we used to kind of emulate him. So, you know, I took a lot of my style, and I really got into dancing then. But I was a hip hop head, right? So, you know, when the dancing videos came out, and Kid and Play and all that kind of stuff, you kind of started to incorporate, in my head, some of the jazz stuff I was doing alongside some of the hip hop stuff and try to kind of augment that.
DJ session. So let me ask you this question, because I was highlighting it a little bit when you was off air. How important was the jazz scene to the evolution of us understanding what dance could happen in dance?
It was essential. Yeah. Like for us, that was our connection back, right? Like I studied those 1940s films. Myself and David Compass used to study those, right? Like to get our moves, especially the moves where you link up. Where in the old films, used to be there's the girl and the guy. You used to have to find out ways how to do it with guys and guys because of the weight difference. But all of our link-up moves we learned from those films. Like it was an essential part of who we were and how we developed our style.
Okay. Cool. Love it. If you just tuned in again, it's 9:41 right here in the UK. iLive UK. We're talking the ting, giving you all the undocumented history regarding the 90s scene, whether it be rave, hip-hop, soul, the fashion, the clubs. We're doing it all here, okay? And if you want to be part of it and you want to come in to the studio and you've got a story to tell, hit us up. ilivek@iliveradio.com or give us a call 0208-638-8503. I know that line's not working at the present moment, but it will be as soon as we finish, okay? Don't forget you can listen to us via the iLive Radio UK app, Facebook iLive UK, and also on Instagram. You can connect with us via that. We have Ty in the studio, DJ Magic J, giving us his perspective, Sims Mode, and on the line our other host, DJ Sessions, Jason Henry. So we've got about 15 more minutes left, guys. We're gonna take it anywhere. Where do you want to go now with this? So I think
yeah. Can I pose a question?
Yeah.
One second. I'm on a train. I want to ask a question there.
Okay,
right.
We're listening. When you're ready.
Right. So, Ty. Well, so you've been around us a lot for a long time. What was the best dance battle you ever saw? Dancers wise.
Do you remember? I can honestly say that because I enjoyed the dancing so much, I can't say one thing was the best because like we were living for it every week. So we were going to see these dances every week. Like I never left a dance disappointed because as long as the DJs play the right tune or the best tune. In fact, I've got a question for you afterwards, but let me answer this question. I remember one of the things. Do you remember the Vox when I did that? When I won that MC competition?
Correct. Yeah.
And when Mark served, what's his name that always did the backflips?
Oh, Flipper.
I'm talking about. I know him, Colin.
Yeah.
You remember? Is it Colin? What's DJ name? I forgot his DJ. He's got a radio station as well. Big salute to him. But anyway, all I remember is he kept relying on these backflips, and Mark they were battling, and Mark somehow, without doing a backflip, did some magic stuff that made him just defeated.
What?
Do you remember that? It was at the Vox in Brixton, and it was after one. I think I did it was a Kiss FM competition. I rapped over a Gangstar that tune.
Oh,
he's gone.
Yeah.
I'm talking to nobody.
No, you're talking to us.
I'm talking to everybody.
Yeah, he's talking to everyone.
But anyway, that competition.
Yeah.
What happened is I saw someone find a way to dance, move around without doing acrobatics.
Right.
And absolutely smash someone that was doing backflips.
Yo.
And he made him look to the point that, you know, like my man almost backflipped and just buckled because it was like, yeah, you got nothing else.
Yeah. So before you got cut off there, Ty was talking about a guy that used to do some serious backflips, and if you remember, Colin, a guy called Colin,
Tuscany.
Yeah, Colin Tuscany.
Yeah. And I remember when Tuscany and Fahim, Mark Abstract battled. And Mark somehow, just by dancing, without doing any athletic stuff, just did some incredible floor moves that made my man's backflips look silly. And I remember, even though I won that competition, to me, he won that day.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah. The backflip was a gimmick.
Yeah, it was a gimmick, and it got exposed.
The person that used to do the best backflips was Abdul. Remember Abdul?
Yeah, I remember Abdul.
Abdul was crazy with it. Like he was the only one I see just do a round of like open back, like straight. Like he was crazy.
And you know what? People don't think about how much time people spend preparing, because you didn't just go home and not do anything and then come back to
you're preparing.
You had to prepare.
Oh yeah.
So a question I've got for you, Jay, is name your favorite tune that used to open the dance floor and drive people crazy. And I'm opening this up to everyone else.
Yeah.
What's your favorite tune? Like what's the tune? The tune that you play and everyone, because remember, this is the thing that I haven't talked about.
Okay.
This is the thing I haven't talked about, right? We used to be in the dance enjoying ourselves and people would get tired.
Yes.
And then the DJ would play another song that you love and you'd have to you had no more moves, but you had to find something.
Yes.
I don't care what I was doing. If I was at the bar at the prison, someone played Harlem Brown, I was gone. I'll leave my drink. We're on the dance floor. We had explicit moves that we used to do to that song.
To what song?
Harlem Brown, Red Kingpin.
Okay, Red Kingpin.
Okay, yes. So we're gonna open this up to everybody that's online right about now. If there's a particular tune that would get you back on that dance floor, or your favorite tune that you used to go out and wish, you know what, I need to hear this tonight. I need to hear this particular tune tonight.
I got one.
What's yours?
Mine is quite old school. Do you remember a singer called Karen White?
Yeah. Karen White.
Karen White.
Yeah, that's not old school. That's not old school.
Yeah.
Is that what?
No. Superwoman woman.
You know the main song that she done. What's it called? Is it I Like the Way You
Sing it for us.
Yeah.
Did you see how Sims finessed that?
Yeah.
She's like, sing it for me, baby.
All I know is like basically all I know is a New Jack Swing style. I like the way you love me, or like the way you something like that.
Okay.
But like, trust me, the beat itself is like it's one of those songs that when you hear it, right, and you hear it drop, and then you hear her vocals starting it'll get you up and dance.
Yeah.
True.
I got too many, so I'm going to start backwards, right?
Okay.
So I'm going to throw a slower one in there. Mr. Sandman, 3 times dope.
3 times dope. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, Carnival.
Yes, man.
Play that tune. Everyone was like, hold my drink, I got things to do.
You know what time it is.
Then Pete Rock and the Creator. That was to Pete Rock. The Creator to me is actually one of the theme tunes for what we're talking about.
Right.
It's like it absolutely, like, you can't have that. You cannot not have that song playing as a memory of what was going on. That Pete Rock and the Creator tune, that was the fridge all over.
Yeah.
This okay, give us a little volume.
We're gonna play one of these tracks right now. This is 3 times dope, Mr. Sandman. We're gonna play a little bit of it and give you back some memories.
6:30 in the morning. Funkiness, funk is like freedom of the press. Words to be heard and openly expressed. Come strong, wax like Mr. Clean. Do work and step off the scene. Rhythmic radiance given that extra.
I got you.
I have texture. cashmere. I get foot and yo, what's unfair? Throw style on the plate, vibrate the earth. True to what I do to get your money worth. Now when it's time to get mine, so rhymes I present. I do it like it's my last word testament. So don't try to form a strong picture. It'll puzzle you like it's no scripture. Wanna break you down, but you can't understand that it was weak. I put it to sleep. Call me Stan.
Yes, man. Taking back some memories.
Do you remember Carnival when this came out? And this was the tune. Everywhere we went, this tune, when the DJ played this, it was like, okay, hold my drink.
Yeah, the crowd's gone crazy.
Crowd gone mad.
Gone crazy.
Mad. Shivy is online. Good evening, Shivy. Shivy said a track that takes her back is I Love the Way You Love Me. And is that Ganja Ash one?
I Love the Way You Love Me.
No, it's the Karen White one.
That's Karen White.
That's the Karen White one.
That's what I was telling you.
That's what
I was trying to say.
You didn't explain that.
You didn't explain it well. You went around the houses, bro.
All right, let me hide myself
You went
now.
around the council estate houses.
All right. Sorry, mate.
Sorry, mate. Sorry.
Yeah.
Nephew, real good.
So, but do you know what? For Carnival, for my era, was definitely Onyx Slam. Like when that used to come on, everybody better move out the way. I'm thumping you.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah, I get it, man.
I think for
Slam
me
was quite
though,
commercial for us after a while.
I think for me it had to be the Sugar Bears. Don't Scandalise Mine.
That's
When that came on, like
standard.
You stand to the side, or else you're gonna get like pushed or something.
I just want to know, anyone in the room, do you remember being in a dance, right? And these tunes come on, and you were tired, but you were like, I gotta get my second win. I gotta go.
But you find that energy though.
You know what song that was for me? That song for me was Set It Off, Big Daddy Kane.
Yeah.
There you go.
Right,
Yeah.
that's the uppercut. I'm coming for a skate.
Yeah.
And you know Son from Son of Noise? He used to be a dancer as well.
Yeah.
Jason.
Yeah.
He used to dance the uppercut. And the first time I saw Jason dance, I was like, what? All right, let's go.
You see, as you mentioned Set It Off, right? All I remember is this. You see, when Set It Off came out, I was enjoying it. But then the palpitations that the rap of Kane used to give me.
Yes, my friend.
So because when you hear that, it's like whatever you had, if he's a baby, throw it down. Whatever's going on, you had to dance.
You kind of walk around at that intro, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, hold my drink.
And then when those drums came in,
loosen up,
it was over. Now, I know you're going to play it, but I'm not dancing. I don't care. I'm just telling you.
No, we got space.
Shibby, if you can dance, Shibby, you can do it. Shibby, film us. Film yourself. Where's Shibby? Please. Tune.
I keep the crowd loud when you hype. Do damage on stage and into the mic. It's not you to give them seats.
You was about to, innit?
For all those on Facebook, we're teasing and trying to get time.
Tune.
To bust some moves right now on camera.
I'm back. Sorry.
Have you got Rap the Big Daddy anthem. Go with the flow. My rhymes grow like an afro. I entertain the game and Kane and never have no problem. I can sneeze, nibble, and cough. Eat up, shut up, still for more. Rappers can't understand the mic I rip. They showing up ain't equipped to ride it. Rip, but my apparatus is up to status. Don't ask who's the baddest. I'm going baddest. The make or break, I take on. My rhyme dig the head, put it to bed. So watch what's said. Say the bass for the pipe and rearrange the zone. I take a loss and be forced in the danger zone. Cause I can ill and kill at will. Teaching a skill that's real, you know thrill. So just stand still and chill as I feel. Science I drill until my rhyme fill. Your head up. Don't even get up. The teacher is
listen.
Oh, he's off.
For the benefit of all those watching.
Oh my God.
This is one of the tunes, right? That you were tired and the DJ played this and you was like, you fucking bitch. I was you bitch. You play this now? Okay. Asma, let's go. You cannot two-step to that song. At some point, you just got to dive on the floor. If your chin gets scratched, just what it is. Just go down.
And also, Ace in Action, Let Us About.
Oh, that was another one. That was a big tune. Yeah, so Shivy has just turned around and she says the tune for her was this one.
Shivy with the sexy bullshit.
Oh, is it now, Shivy? Is it?
For the father MC.
Look at this. Look at this. Somebody look at this.
Father MC came to the UK once.
I was there
for a concert, innit?
When did he come over?
What year was that?
He came over and he played. He did Hammersmith.
Polo.
Yeah, Hammersmith. Hammersmith.
Le Palais.
Palais.
Right.
He did that, and he came with somebody. He came with someone.
Was it Joe to see one of those guys?
We got to quickly talk about this. What is your best concert?
Hold on. Stop that right there. Best concert.
Oh, is that a whole new? There's a whole new program.
Well, I'm gonna stay out and let the old.
That's another conversation, man.
Okay, sorry.
That's another conversation. Yeah, that's a 2 hour straight.
Different show. Different show.
Definitely.
Apologies.
Definitely.
Carry on. Let's carry on.
So we've got about 5 more minutes left.
Any more songs?
Yeah. We've got another song up in there.
What was yours, though, Jay?
Mine.
Yeah. Like, what would get you onto the dance floor?
Jason mentioned it. He said it.
Which was what?
The cane tune.
Ah.
No.
Who?
Master Ace.
Oh.
Hey, let it to the better.
This was me.
Yeah, this was like.
If you want to see me bust a windmill, just put this on.
We got Space Jazz in.
No, not tonight. Are you ready?
Time's done, man.
Allow me to begin. Once again, my friend. Yo, it's Ace in Action here to send any and all friends.
There you go.
Yeah, this ain't the same old lame old bragging and nagging. Yo, all that became old years ago. And yo, here's a profession that I impression.
So
I am going on and on
like an adventure.
Some of y'all are off from that
because I sent ya.
Let's move it forward. You like it if I pause? Yeah, you sure would. But I ain't pulling no stops, just like a freeway. Rappers,
this tune,
I need some leeway.
I can't remember if it was before the symphony or whatever, but this tune was when people was like, oh wow, Master Ace is a problem.
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
Like, Master Ace was a problem on the symphony, but when he did this, they were like, oh, you know what, bro? You ain't flash in the pan.
Yeah, totally. Okay.
Other songs. Or you want to move it, leave it.
Yeah, listen, I think we've had enough songs. We've had our film for this evening. Next week we're going to do it all again with some more songs. But no, actually next week when Jamal hopefully comes in and Shaq D's probably here, and we're going to
Jamal not come in. Jamal not coming?
He's not coming this evening, unfortunately. But well, time's gone now, so if you're out there, you missed out tonight. Hopefully we'll do it again next week and we'll have some other great guests in. Okay, right now I just want to take the time out to big up Ty for giving all of his I'm gonna mute you there, Sessions, giving all of his time and effort to come down and sharing his memories on Talk-the-Ting. Big respect goes out to you. And also DJ Magic J, watch out for this guy. Watch out for this guy. Big respect for coming down and man. And of course our host Sims Mode, who's here with us, obviously. Sims Mode in the background there, giving her female perspective.
Don't watch that, there'll be a Talk the Things ladies edition.
Right. Can't wait for that, man. Saucy stuff, yeah?
Maybe. Maybe not.
I know, Facebook, you haven't seen me all night. I've been underneath the microphone, but I'm here. And of course, DJ Sessions, Big up DJ Season.
I'll be in the studio next week.
Oh, you're going to be in the
nice.
Oh,
my last week in England. So.
Oh, you here next week, huh?
Right, my swan song, yeah.
Hey,
my swan song next week.
See, I could have.
Cool. Hope so you've all enjoyed it this evening. Don't forget, same time, same place next week, 8 through till 10. It's Talk-the-Ting. Watch out. Everything that's happening on iLive UK. Loads of different shows coming up for you throughout the week. Keep it locked to your number one station, iLive UK. Peace out, everyone.
Peace. I know you're hoping it might be some claim of my greatness, but once I state this, watch the crabs wait.